Welcome to Boss Level, a podcast where we feature conversations with guests who have leveled up, bringing an XP boost to the table. Today's guest is Deere, who is an amazing award-winning Twitch partner, Twitch ambassador. They have worked with companies like MAC Cosmetics, been interviewed for Vogue, and the founder of Stream Queens. Today, our host is going to be myself, MiLadyConfetti and HeyShadyLady.
Hello.
And hello. And yeah, so I'm excited to really jump in and heck, Deere, if you want to introduce yourself to the folks, to the community, I would love that.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for having me. Oh, my cat is leaving. Bye. My name is Deere. Let's Play What You Fear. I like to play scary games on Twitch and serve you drag excellence at the same time. It's my favorite thing. And thank you for inviting me here. I'm excited. Hi.
We're glad to
Good
have
morning.
you.
Good
I'm so
afternoon.
excited to talk to you.
I'm here. I made it.
What got you hooked on horror for your streams?
Oh, I've loved horror forever. I mean, as a kid, my brother and my dad would rent horror movies from Blockbuster. Remember that? Shout out to Blockbuster.
Oh, the last Blockbuster.
Never forget.
They would just rent scary movies all the time, and I was terrified as a kid. Like, I had to brace myself and get used to it and build up what would it be, like a resistance to horror, because it used to actually affect me. But now I just love it. I can't get enough. It's just always creepy. It's scary. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. You never know what's going to happen. There's mystery to it. It's just fascinating.
I love the mystery and the psychological thrillers and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I can tell you have an immunity too. When Resident Evil Village came up and that guy came and jumped at the window and you didn't move 1 inch, you were like, oh, okay. Period.
I mean, I've pretty much seen it all because I've loved horror since I was a little kid. Like, literally, I would be terrified to go to sleep all the time as a little kid. And I just got used to it. I just love it now. I need it. And also, it's so fantastic when you're live streaming. I'm sure that you both can relate to playing a scary game and the audience is there with you. They're like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? I'm terrified. I'm holding on to my chair. I'm holding on to my everything. I'm holding on to anything I can grab, because it's just
yeah.
I do feel like adrenaline content or horror content gives some of the best reactions that you can get.
Yeah,
absolutely. And my favorite thing about what I do, because I don't react that much, is people come to me and they say, oh my gosh, Deere, you just make it you make horror more accessible, because I can't play this and I'm terrified to play it, but you're bringing this chill energy. And it's nice. It's just a new, different experience, because we've all seen the people screaming at the top of their lungs, but you don't see people just being like, oh, that's just some guy.
Yeah.
As much, at least.
That's me with Michael Myers. Anytime he shows up in Dead by Daylight, I'm like, why do y'all play him like this? I don't get it.
when he shows up with a tombstone and he just snatches you
off the generator, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm uninstalling.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And also, fun fact, me and Deere are both fog whisperers for Dead by Daylight.
Yes. What does this mean? I'm not very familiar with Dead by Day. I've watched it a bit. See, I've had this full
I've never played
moment.
It before.
Oh, really? Okay. I
what is it?
So Dead by Daylight, it's an asymmetrical horror game, and people who are partnered with behavior, we are called fog whisperers. There is a whole theme of going into the fog and the whole campfire scene and stuff like that. So they call us partnered with the game Fog Whispers. So you guys, we're very passionate about the community. I know for me, I do a lot of cosplays. Deere does amazing cosplays and you're just great. Awesome piggy main as well. I played against Deere's pig and it was terrifying. You did not let me escape.
Oh, were you? You were the one that I killed one person because I just
during Into the Rainbow.
I dropped the ball. I only killed one. I feel especially because I requested the Dusty Noose, the Dead Dog Saloon, because I think that killers got to choose their levels, right? Yes. And I thought I knew my strategy there, but I have a whole new strategy on that level, and I've been slaying lately. I've been slaying. If I
all right, let me block you on Steam really quick.
Let's randomly link up. Ooh. I always get so shook when I accidentally link up with people. I've played with other Fog Whisperers before, just from the random matchmaking. It's always like, whoa, it's like you're seeing a rare unicorn, even though I'm one too in that respect.
Yeah, I think I've only gotten Elix one time by accident. And I don't know how that happened because we're on different coasts. Wild. And I'm like, how did that happen? All right, bye.
Who knows?
Disconnecting.
It's wild.
So what's your favorite game to play off stream? What do you do to like, I guess, rejuice your energy?
You know, I don't play that many games off stream. I like focus a lot of my time into streaming. So when I'm partaking in games, it's usually on stream. But lately I've been trying to play some games myself just because it's nice to have a little bit of time with video games just one-on-one. It's like an intimate conversation. Like all the time I'm experiencing something live and like publicly in a way. And so it's sort of nice to have that relationship off camera too.
Yeah.
But my go-tos are definitely Dead by Daylight with friends. Here and there, I'll play with friends off stream. I've also recently gotten my like actual consoles to work with my computer again because they were in storage for a while, so I wasn't using my capture cards and stuff for systems other than Switch. And so lately I've been playing my Dreamcast. I love my Dreamcast.
What have you been playing on Dreamcast?
What inspired me was I became a Capcom creator.
Yay, congrats!
Thank you so much. It's a dream come true because I've loved Capcom forever. I mean, they make Resident Evil, but they also make Street Fighter and all of these amazing games from the 90s. Literally the Capcom, like early 90s when Street Fighter 2 came out all the way until like the mid 2000s are like the renaissance of Capcom to me. Like I love every single game. And so I have all of these arcade ports on the Dreamcast, like Street Fighter and Project Justice and Marvel vs. Capcom. And
I love Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh, it's so good. It's so fun. And there's also these like really obscure, weird, they call them bullet hells. Do you know what that means?
No.
So bullet hell is like, it's a top-down, like usually you're in a plane or a vehicle and just like literally bullets are everywhere. Like all these planes are trying to bomb you.
Video games.
Yeah. So it's Capcom made 1942. And so that one's from, I think, the mid 80s, but like in the early 2000s, they started to like do sequels and stuff like that. So there's Mars Matrix, there's Cannon Spike, which is like sort of inspired by the same kind of thing. There's Giga Wing. It's just all these random games, but also there's Resident Evil games on Dreamcast also. So I've just been loving my Dreamcast. Power Stone. Oh my God. It just, the list goes on and on and on.
So you're kind of like retro gaming right now.
Yeah.
Like living in the past, going back to the nostalgia land.
I love that whole era from Capcom. Like I could just go on and on and on and on about it. Like besides horror, I love Capcom and especially Capcom Fighters, but I'm not good at it. So it's not like
but hey.
Oh hey, I'm gonna challenge you, let's go to the arcade machine, I'm gonna slay you.
It's just for fun.
I fight the computer on the easiest difficulty and it's just like that's nice.
See, that's my mom, surprisingly. Like she's the challenger. She's like, all right, let's go to arcade, like let's settle this. I'm like, woman.
Chill.
Relax.
Chill, please.
Oh, well, I was kind of curious about your username. Well, I've kind of established you're not a deer in the headlights. You don't get frozen with fear or anything like that. How did you come up with the username Deere?
It's my drag name. So I wanted a name that was like something to do with nature, like animals and stuff like that. Like, I wanted something mysterious and beautiful and graceful. And like, you think of those things when you think of a deer, like just like you see one in the forest and it's just like gorgeous. But I also love that they're clumsy. Like they are like, they're walking on stilts. Like if you've ever seen a baby deer, like in Bambi, it's like they just fall, like they're just tumbling around and it's adorable. But I just love the idea of a beautiful deer in a forest, and that's why I'm in a forest. I also love things that are in forest because a lot of horror movies happen in forest, like Friday the 13th. It's all at a campsite, people running through the woods. I love like witches and occult things, and I just think that
would you ever
having to do with nature fits in with that.
would you ever be interested in doing like real life, like ghost hunting or like horror, like, you know, these like survival rooms or whatever that they do? Would you ever explore stuff like that?
I think so. I haven't been to a haunted house in like 20 years at this point since I was a kid. So I don't know how I would like that, but I would be down to do it.
You can come to the Eastern State Penitentiary with me.
Okay.
Just
Sure.
get you an EVP little
I'll just
ghost
fly
into
you
the
out.
spirit box.
And we'll just go.
It'll be a real life what is that game? Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
Phasmophobia.
No, for real. In there, yes, absolutely. It is eerie in there. It's weird. So I'm just like, ooh, okay.
I love that. I would totally try that. I was in San Francisco yesterday, just visiting some friends, and there was at one point, I took an Uber there, so they like brought me all the way to the tip top of like a hill to get me to where I was going. I was going to the Castro, but at one point I don't go to San Francisco that often. I'm in the Bay. I'm close by, but I'm not super close. So I don't go all the time. But I think I saw Alcatraz and I was like, ooh, Alcatraz is so cool because it's like that little floating prison that's abandoned, except they do tours and stuff there. That would be cool to go look at too.
I only go if I go like I wouldn't go alone. That I couldn't do alone.
I don't think I could do it alone. Yeah.
It's creepy.
But at the same time, I'd want to go in alone because I feel like the good stuff only happens when you're alone. So like I'd want to like maybe have a duo and like I'll go in for 5 minutes and then I'll come back out. You can go in for 5
MiLady's
minutes.
like, no,
you're
on your own.
I'm the black person in the horror thing. Like I'm just like, as soon as I hear a sound, I'm out.
I'm literally the dumbass. It's like, what's that sound? I'll go investigate. Like literally,
Nope.
I hate myself. Like
I get creeped out, but I feel like I would be more curious than anything. Like people talk about the there's like some I don't know where it is, but it's like the doll that inspired Annabelle and it's like cursed and you can't say the name 3 times around it.
Yeah.
And I sort of want to go over there and summon Satan. I'm just curious.
I'll drive you to the door and I'll see you at lunch.
You'll meet me in the cafe. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So one thing about you, dear, well, there's many things about you because we absolutely love you. So you have been a huge trailblazer. Have been a trailblazer on Twitch, and I think just in a digital space, like overall, as far as, you know, having, you know, drag be a main category on Twitch, and also founding not oh my goodness, Stream Queens. The Dream Team, Stream Queens. But also just like, I know because you've been out to Twitch HQ and done like consultancy and you've just been a very big spearhead just in the LGBTQIA space, but also specifically with drag. I would love to know like your story, your particular story, you know, with, you know, the drag and like the art form and stuff like that, but also I guess how, because I think I met you at TwitchCon, but then after that the Ponder Replay happened, so then like you see drag kind of take on this essence of its own, so I'd really like to know more about that as well, like in the digital space.
So the way that I started with it in 2016 was I just wanted, like, I'm an artist. I consider myself an artist. Like I'm a makeup artist. My drag is my art. I wanted to create my art in a way that made sense to me, that spoke to me. And the way that drag typically is you go to the club, you perform, you do lip syncs and dancing or comedy or whatever it is, some sort of performance in a club setting or in a bar setting, something like that. But I also was seeing people at the time in 2016, like I love Drag Race, and Drag Race is so inspiring because it shows these people that are, of course, they come from that prior and even continue to do that sort of lifestyle, that sort of career path, but also it enables them to do drag in a new way. You're a TV personality, you're a reality star. So many people go on, like Trixie Mattel, Miss Fame. Miss Fame is a model. She's like in magazines, like she has editorials. She's a makeup artist, but for like editorial makeup projects. And she also has a brand, and Trixie Mattel is a country star, and she's in so many different things. Like you see these people that are doing things that are not the norm and not the expected of drag.
Right.
And it felt inspiring to me to be like, well, I don't have to go to the club and perform. Obviously, that helps you pay your dues and it helps to make a name for yourself in your local scene, which can lead to bigger opportunities like Drag Race, for example. But it doesn't, it wasn't speaking to me and my artistic spirit and my vision. And so I've always been into video games. I love video games. And so it sort of made sense to me. I was seeing people doing Let's Plays on YouTube. I was seeing people streaming on Twitch, and it sort of just clicked. I could do drag. I could look like this. I could have the camera on. I could be a personality. I could give commentary on the games that I love, but I could also, like, with the persona part, I could amalgamate it with the games, and it could create this new sort of thing. It could become this own
it's making it a lot more easily accessible and opening it up to people who might not have been exposed to it before, because I know with something like Drag Race, it's like the one show on TV that it's about, and Drag Race might not be for everybody that could be into the drag scene. So bringing it to video games could open it up to a lot of people that might not have been able to explore it or even see it at all. So I like the word trailblazer for you for sure. And I was wondering a little bit about Stream Queens as well. What gave you the idea to make the team, and what's kind of your thought process behind it?
Oh yeah. So I was doing drag on Twitch in 2016. People were noticing it. People were loving it. It's really cool because it was a combination of like, I want to do my artistic outlet in the creative way that I want to do it, but it's also like, it creates that recognition, and it can inspire, and it can resonate with people. It can become a cool thing that people look forward to and want to do themselves. And I just saw more and more people doing drag on Twitch and doing drag in less commercialized, typical kind of ways. And I just saw that opportunity, and I wanted to be able to create a space where more people can be elevated and be a part of something, be a part of a community. Because I have never wanted it to be like, I'm the number one, I'm the only thing here. I wanted it to, the more and more people I saw doing drag, the more and more it's just obvious it's a community. It's something that we can build together and share with each other and learn from, and also be able to create that thing for other people to experience too.
Is this something that you thought, like, as a kid, like you would have ended up doing, not necessarily drag, but becoming a leader of a community, or like spearheading kind of a movement, or helping people express themselves more?
I definitely didn't envision it for myself in this kind of way, but I have always been the outsider. I've always been that weird kid that doesn't have a lot of friends, that's sort of different, that's creative, that dances to the beat of their own drum. Like, I was always that one. If you were to pick out like who was the quirkiest, most different person in the room, it was always me as a child. In school, at family functions, whichever it was, that was always me. And so I love being able to influence others with my creativity. And I don't just mean like, oh, my drag is pretty, like maybe someone will wear blonde because I wore blonde, like, I mean, like, you don't have to listen to what other people are saying. You can create your own blueprint, and you can follow your own path. And I think it's true in a literal way, but it's also like just in a figurative way. Like, you can be yourself and find your own way in whatever it is you're doing. You don't have to go on Twitch and do drag, but just listening to yourself and your own creativity and letting that form your path. It's really special, and it's really important also. Hi, Kat. Hi, Kitty. And I'm sure that you both can relate to it too. Like, in a gaming space, it's like, how many times have you spoken up on a voice call? I can only imagine, but like, most women that I speak to in gaming, like, if you speak up in a voice call in a game, Friday the 13th or Halo or whatever it is, Apex,
Lord,
it's like
I don't even turn my mic on.
Yeah,
exactly. Like,
it's why I don't talk in Valorant, because it's like, And the thing is, that's a community, like you need to communicate. I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, and I can relate too, as like you can tell by my voice that I'm gay or whatever I am. So it's like people want to push us out of these spaces, but we can inspire each other to be proud of ourselves and proud of our things that make us different. And we can set the example and the template for other people to succeed in the future, whether it's tomorrow or next week or next year or the next generation. Like we can inspire just by being ourselves and being proud and being unapologetic, because that's what I am with my drag. It's like, here I am, I'm going to walk into the room, I'm 6 feet tall, out of drag with my heels, I'm like 6'7". I mean, MiLady can probably attest.
Not lying, because yes,
I'm like bigger than
when
the
I
world.
tell you, like when Deere stepped into the DVD party, it was literally like the sea parted, like
mommy
period.
Sorry,
walked in.
Mommy? Sorry.
And so like I feel like with all my drags, it's like unquestionable, like I'm here making a statement. So why not make a powerful statement that can impact people's lives and inspire people to be themselves and be happy?
I think that's a big part too, is standing strong and confident, even in the face of hate or bullying or whatever. But I will say, it's some days I'm good and I can roll off my back, you know what I mean? But there's other days where it just kind of makes me crumple into a little ball. Are there ever days that you have like that, where it's the internet and the jerks that are hiding in the corners are like, hey, or just pressure even overwhelms you? And how do you handle that?
Pressure definitely affects me. When it comes to internet trolls and people saying like, you can't be in this space, like, why do you look like that? What are you like, what, like all that kind of stuff, that literally, I tune that out. I focus on things that are happy to me, that bring me joy, that make me look forward to whatever it is. Like I just try to be optimistic when it comes to the content that I consume. My favorite thing is when I get hate comments, when larger platforms amplify me. So like Dead by Daylight, Twitch, Vogue, whatever it is. I get hateful comments. And I love that, because to me, it's just like engagement, like someone noticing me, someone giving me attention. I mean, I'm a drag queen. I love attention. It makes me thrive. It makes me live. It gives me everything I need. And someone that is misunderstanding me or misconstruing me or just not getting what I'm all about, like literally, it's funny to me. It's a joke. It's sad, because that is a person speaking hate into the world that might affect someone that will be hurt by it. It's a bad statement and a bad outlook to have. But when it comes to me personally, it doesn't affect me, because I don't know that person. I don't know you. Why would I care what you think? I care what my mom thinks. I care what you both think. I care what people in my community think. I care about the people that want to see me do good. If I made someone that loves what I do, and then I did something that disappointed them, that's going to affect me more, not some rando that doesn't know what I'm all about and literally is just judging me by a glance. Like, fuck you, get out of here. I don't want to hear anyway. I didn't want your view. So it doesn't matter to me. But pressure does affect me on a daily basis, like any other human. The things that affect me are what people I care about think about what I'm doing. If I'm championing my community, if I'm making queer people and queer kids that need inspiration, if I'm providing a space for them to flourish, and if I'm not, or if I'm forgetting that or something like that, that can affect me. But I don't think I do. It's just like, sometimes we doubt what we're doing. Are we doing something good in the world? Maybe yes, maybe no. But at the end of the day, I know where my heart is and I know where my intentions are. And so that's what's important to me. But how I deal with pressure is I take my drags off and I decompress, and I watch movies. I hang out with my cat. I like fast food, like stuff like that. But what really helps me, and I would say everybody should internalize this mentality slightly, is to have a little bit of a disconnect when it comes to our profession, our career, our whatever is our public facing self. Because I mean, obviously I'm a drag queen. I can take my hair off. I can take my lashes off. Suddenly I'm a different person. Not everyone can do exactly literally that, but it's good to have a few disconnects here and there so that you can have your own joy and the things that are just for you. So it's like earlier I mentioned I've been playing my Dreamcast off stream. That is my intimate time. That's for me to just like, here's my game that I loved 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and I'm having that special time with it. It's good for us all to have something like that so that we can, feel good and let the pressure off. And then later on, we can deal with those stressors. We can deal with the things that we need to deal with to secure the bag or whatever it is.
Thank you so much for everything you've said so far, Deere. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And when you come back, I'd love to ask you about how you deal with parasocial relationships. Okay, well, welcome back, everybody. So Deere, I'd love to ask you, I spend a lot of time teaching smaller streamers how to get into Twitch. And I wondered if you had any advice for new streamers coming into Twitch on how to separate themselves from their career, if they're looking at Twitch as a career. And maybe this could sort of tiptoe in how you handle keeping boundaries between yourself and your community, and maybe how you deal with parasocial relationships.
I think that, like, thinking over the question, it's like a lot of questions.
It's a big one.
The biggest thing for me is my drag. Like I feel lucky because my drag is literally stuff that you put on that you then take off later. It's like a cosplay, it's like a costume. It's really beautiful in a way because I'm very introverted outside of drag. I'm very I'm a shy boy. I'm a shy man. And I like drag because I put on all of this and this is my confidence. This is my art. This is the focus. I don't want it to be me out of drag. I want it to be Deere. So people always say like, what are your pronouns? Oh, my cat is screaming now.
Oh, here you go.
Hi, Leia. Shush. People ask me what my pronouns are, and technically it's he, him out of drag, but she, her in drag, because I view my drag as like the main event. Like you're never getting, oh, there's Deere out of drag. Like, oh, what's your boy name? All this stuff. The focal point is always my drag. And so she, her is the most respectful towards my drag because it's like, it means that you're considering my drag as the focal point to me. And so it's an easy disconnect because it's like, I want all this attention. I want the spotlight. I want to be the number one star right now. My wig is on, my lashes are on. That means that I'm on. And then I take off my wig. I take out my contacts. I take off my lashes, remove the makeup, take off the costume. I'm in a flannel, that's me backstage. That's me behind the scenes. That's me completely not Deere anymore. And so it's easy to disconnect. And obviously I'll take some gigs where it's like some podcasts I'll appear on and it's not a camera. So it's like I'm appearing as Deere. I'm feeling that persona. I'm feeling that attention, but I don't have all of the costume on, but it's just like a mindset. It's just like flipping a switch, because I like to sometimes not be the center of attention. I as a kid, I was always given too much attention. Like, you're so tall. Like, why are you so tall? Why are you so effeminate? Why are you like, it's just like all these things. It's just like, everything's a problem. Like, just let me be in the background. Let me be a background character. And so it's sort of like a coping mechanism, I guess, is like for me to control how much attention I'm getting by putting on my drag or not having my drag on. And so in that light, very easy to disconnect. When it comes to socials and stuff and being a person on the internet, it gets a little bit more complicated because you want to be present for your community at certain times. You want to be able to be putting out content, uploading a new video, putting up a new TikTok, commenting on things on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. And so I just try to have it be natural. Like, when I want to comment, I comment. When I don't, I don't. And the thing is, for me, I am always, or at least I try to be 100% present during my Twitch stream. Like, I'm trying to read every comment. I'm trying to answer every question. I'm trying to commentate on every action that's happening in the game. I'm trying to be really present and really engaging. And when I'm off stream, I can choose when I'm not engaged.
Yeah.
And so I would recommend anyone starting Twitch or starting an online career or focusing on more being like a public figure in some sort of respect, like set time where you are going to be present and have very, very clear parameters to when that's happening. So like for me, example, I'm just going to repeat me when I'm streaming, super engaging, super present, trying to read every comment, trying to be really like there for everybody. But then there's other times where I'm just not present. There's some days I don't tweet for like a long time, even though I probably should.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's important to have boundaries. It's important to stress that. Like, I'm somebody who reinforces boundaries all the time, and I have no issue from it because, you know, a lot of people just as content creators, they want to put the world on your shoulders, or, you know, with talking about parasocial relationships, people they want to push what the line is. And it's like, no, you can go right back over that line. Don't cross it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's very important to have boundaries and then reinforce them.
Absolutely.
And that is completely your right to do that, because you are a full-blown human being. You are not just like, you know, you are Deere, but like, you know, you're a whole person outside of just, you know, Deere, you know? And I say that all the time with MiLadyConfetti. I was like,
don't try it.
Like, it is me, but like, there's a difference between like being on stage and like having your energy consumed that way versus like, I'm home right now. There's a message after the beat if I choose to listen.
There's like the entertainer side of it, and then there's the like, you know, I can't entertain unless I have the time to build it up and then entertain. And when it comes to boundaries and people pushing things too far, I feel so lucky because I've got a mod team on Twitch where when things get to be too much, they are just like immediately like, you know, Deere is trying, like my I sort of view my drag and my Twitch as a performance of sorts. And so it's like, if people are walking on stage, if they're making it too much, if they're being too weird or pushing things farther than they should go, I mean, my mods are just like security, like stage security. They're just like delete comment, timeout.
Excellent.
And it makes it really, really easy. When it comes to people being too much in DMs and stuff like that, I mean, I'm not above like deleting the comment or blocking and stuff like that. But I try to have it be like really a happy environment. And if people get too far, I mean, you know, I think if people are bad actors, I mean, we shouldn't feel bad removing it because we can't do what we do if there's too many things in the way. So that's how I look at it. And if someone is being too much, I mean, you know, maybe I'm not for you and you can go do something else.
One thing I admire about your journey and just like seeing you just as a content creator, I think this was after I met you at TwitchCon, but the whole thing with Norvina, Anastasia Beverly Hills happened with the list, and you got on their PR list. Now, for me, I know I don't know if it's happened before. It probably has, and I'm just oblivious. But like, I had never seen a Twitch content creator be on like a PR list for a makeup company. And I know like you've worked with like MAC Cosmetics and like you've worked, you have a few people that you work with, but I just thought that that was really awesome. So like, that was really cool to see because it's just like Twitch is, cause you know, they mostly do like YouTubers and stuff like that, but to see like a live content creator, like reaching into the makeup industry is incredible. So like, I don't know if you can tell me about like some of the brands you've worked with and like, cause I know you also done things with Vogue too. So just like, if you could tell me about that experience, that would be really awesome.
I'm so proud of what I do. Cause I love what I do. And I'm so grateful that it resonates with people and that people just like what I do and look forward to what I do, whether it's the makeup, whether it's the drag, whether it's the gaming. I just like, I live and breathe what I do. It's like a dream come true that I can be able to make it a career and sustain my livelihood through it. Like it means so much. It's literally just like dreams just coming to fruition. And as a result of that, I have worked with so many different brands and so many different people, and it's so cool. I'm proud of each and every one of them. Anastasia was probably the first one that added me to PR with makeup, and I'm still on their list. They send me stuff every once in a while,
That
which
is so cool.
So cool.
That's
Yeah,
so cool.
And I've been a makeup artist for years, so it's like so amazing and validating to have these brands that have such notable, great products send me their things to use.
Too.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
surreal. I've been a makeup artist for years, and like I worked at Mac. I worked at Mac stores, Mac counters. I did freelance gigs. I worked on runways for Mac, and so they would give me stuff just as an employee, but like a brand just being like, here's stuff, make something cool with it. Here's just support for your drag and what you're doing. Is amazing. It's just so cool. And I don't think that Anastasia works with streamers that much.
They don't.
Not that
That's what made it so cool, because I was just like, oh my, like I've seen you and Betty Nix on their PR list. That's it. Like
it's just wild.
Maybe there's more, but like I just, because the thing is like when I think of YouTube, like it's the you know, you can edit that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if you don't like something or something doesn't work, you can just restart and do it all over again. But like when it's live, if
or use
something
else.
Yeah, exactly. That too. Like if something doesn't work, it simply doesn't work. So it's like, what are you going to do? So I thought that like maybe with makeup companies, that was a hesitancy as to why they didn't want to work with live content creators. But like, when I think of like you and also Betty Nix, like the impact and like makeup and the things that you all do is just like incredible. So I think that's like a very cool way to just trailblaze that, to say like, hey, we're in the space and we have an impact too, and our communities love your product. Yeah. So like,
I think it's also been like a slow build to like more visibly like super made up like dollish kind of people on Twitch, because it was only like 5 or 6 years ago that it was still like an 80% like boys party. And so I like thinking specifically of like something like Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is very like more kind of like on the posh end. We on Twitch, I feel like we tend to see more alternative, kind of like more of the Hot Topic style of makeup than the like Estee Lauder kind of like, you know, like prim and proper. So I feel like the more
alternative,
it feels a lot more like bright pinks and bright green eyeshadows, you know, to match the purple hair.
Fun.
Yeah, like that's what I kind of associate with like more gamer girl, or like the ones that we would see wearing makeup. So like the more, you know, refined kind of makeup that would come in with the like Anastasia brands would I think are just now starting to tiptoe in their way. And we've had some of these bigger content creators, like I believe it was Pokimane, that are releasing makeup palettes and stuff like that. So I think we're just starting to see makeup meeting the gaming industry in these last couple of years. And I certainly think it's people like you in the industry that are making it more I don't want to use the word normal, but showing that it is just part of the game. Like gamers wear makeup too. I don't know.
Yeah, it's part of a lifestyle.
It's honestly like part of the show. Like when I put on my makeup, like I don't really like, I'm not going to Target like this. Like I'm wiping this off.
Literally
going to buy.
It's part of the uniform.
Exactly. So
and what makes it even more like amazing in a way is that it's just an untapped market. Like I feel like anyone speaking on a product live, like you said, MiLady, it's like, that's like a live testimonial or like a live demonstration that you won't get anywhere else, because you have to wait for someone to like have the product and then film it and then edit it and then upload it. Whereas if you're just streaming you using it, it's just like a live experience. And that's how I pitched it to Anastasia and to Sugar Pill. They send me PR.
Sugar Pill, that's what it was.
I've received, what else? I'm trying to like think. I've received Tatcha, Urban Decay, House Labs, some indie brands. I feel like there's probably more, but that just aren't coming to mind. But those are my favorites for products, are like Sugar Pill and Anastasia. I love MAC. They haven't sent me any PR. I'd love some MAC PR. Like I used to work there, but I still love the products.
Yeah. They're a staple in the makeup community. So yeah.
I actually had, so all of these are just like, you know, PR list. It's just like, here's some product for you to use to support what you do. But it's not like, you know, they're not paying me to feature the products. But it's wild when you reach a point as a content creator that you like have paid offers. I mean, drag, paid opportunities, absolutely. Drag is already like basically most drag artists that are working in clubs and bars, you have to like work for free for just tips, not even a booking fee, until you have enough of a name where like more of a crowd will come see you, and then you'll get a booking fee. And then like if you keep establishing yourself and building that relationship with the bar and stuff like that, then you'll get a higher booking fee. You'll be able to pitch your own show like that. It's just like a hierarchy of clawing your way up.
Most of those tips will go back into the makeup and the hair and the costumes. Yeah,
exactly. And it's so flashy that like drag for anyone out there is a loss until you've built a name for yourself. It's not
the
like
same with cosplay too.
Yeah, exactly. Any art form, you have to pay your dues. You have to keep working on it until suddenly it hopefully will someday pay for itself.
Fingers crossed.
But but I feel so lucky and so blessed that like I've had paid opportunities with Anastasia. That's awesome. I've had paid opportunities with other brands as well. It's just so cool. Like I don't want to like break an NDA, like saying, you're not supposed to say you were paid, but like I was sponsored by Murad earlier this year. It's just so, and weren't you as well?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, it's so cool. Congratulations. It's just like so
their
cool.
Stuff is so good. Not hashtag not sponsored, but like their stuff is really good.
Yeah. Previously sponsored, still using their products. Love it.
Yeah, seriously.
I'd like to do a callback to the title of our podcast, Boss Level. And Deere, I'd love to hear what you think it means to be boss level.
It means that you have a really cool costume and you've got an amazing theme.
All right. Got it.
I think with like the pitch of the show, it's like you, Leia, you were already fed. Hold on. She thinks she's the boss.
Or maybe to rephrase the question, how do you incorporate being a boss into your life? Or what does it mean to you to be a boss or to reach a new level, a boss level?
So I think it's to keep pushing yourself. Like don't just take what people give you. Ask for more and work for more and reach the next level up. You have to grind in a game to reach the new level. You have to work hard to surpass all the things that you're trying to overcome, to beat the next enemy, to beat the boss, to like find that item, to run that quest. You have to work hard and push through, because no one's going to just like hand it to you. They're going to give you the tools, but you need to use them. And to me, that's being a boss. I am constantly trying to do what I love and do what makes me feel good and feel comfortable, but also when I see a new opportunity, to seize it and not let it pass me by. Like I said earlier, I'm very introverted outside of drag, but drag is what Leia. I'm trying to have an inspiring moment. Drag makes me feel empowered, and it enables me to be like, actually, this is something that my mom told me. A few years ago, I was invited to be at Drag Con on a panel run by 8-Bit Dylan. And it had these drag icons on it. It had Cameron Michaels. It was during season 10. So Cameron Michaels was on the panel. And Bitch Puddin had just won Dragula season 2, and then Erica Clash, who was amazing on Dragula season 2 as well. And so 8-Bit Dylan invited me, a nobody Twitch queen, to this panel. And I was telling my mom, I'm like, I'm on the phone. I don't live close to my mom, so we talk on the phone. Mom, I'm terrified of this panel. Like, I just go on Twitch and I play video games, and my drag, like, I had never even been in full drag out somewhere. Like, it was just,
oh wow,
you see me on Twitch, that's all I've ever done. And so besides Halloween, I'd gone out in drag.
Have you ever performed drag at a club before?
No.
Wow, okay.
My Twitch is my performance.
Okay, cool.
But who knows, New
Amen.
year, new you.
Well, that's even
Lots of
cooler
new
too,
opportunities,
because
lots of new experiences.
you're also showing, 'cause I'm sure there's tons of people who want to do drag but are terrified, like stage fright, could not.
Yeah.
So this is like creating a whole new place for them to be able to express themselves. That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
really
express
cool.
yourselves and be creative, and don't let anyone tell you no. If your inner conscience says that's not for you, I mean, do it in a different way. That's how I feel. But I was talking to my mom and I'm like, I'm terrified to be on this panel. Like, I'm not a public speaker. I don't feel like I'm the most eloquent. Like, I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to do. And she was like, you are scared, but Deere needs to be seen.
Oh, wow.
She was like, you're speaking to me out of drag. If you were in drag, you'd say, seize the day. You'd say, let me be on that panel. I'm going to be on that panel. You can't keep me from being on that panel. And she's right, because if I let my anxiousness and my anxieties and things that worry me hold me back, my drag wouldn't be able to, be seen and to be enjoyed and to be experienced. And so I try to keep that mentality whenever I'm like, should I do that? Hell yeah, I should do that. I need to do that.
She sounds like a wonderful mother. That's so awesome to have someone so supportive in your life like that.
She's a cutie. Both my parents are so supportive, and I
Aww.
couldn't be more grateful, because I know that
awesome.
Other people that are queer don't always get the most safe and consistent home lives. And my parents have always been my biggest champions, my biggest supporters. They've always just been, be creative, be yourself, do what you do. It's no problem. They always created a safe space for me.
That's awesome.
They come to my Twitch every once in a while.
That's so sweet.
My mom is more tech savvy than my dad. So my mom is always like the catalyst to watching me, even though my dad enjoys what I do. But they always come for the makeup. They never stay for the games. My mom is like, I don't want to watch a scary game.
Yeah.
She's like, play more Animal Crossing. I don't want to see the scary game.
That was my mom when the Ring You chapter PTB came out. She was like, what is this? And she left. I was like, I am so sorry. I didn't know. They didn't tell us anything.
Mm-hmm.
My parents are not tech savvy at all. I don't know what I'd do if I saw them in the audience, like in the chat watching me. I'd be like, how did y'all figure out the internet? I mean, they sort of get, but they get like Facebook. You know what I mean? My mom plays like Facebook games on her cell phone. She's not
very Facebook.
Yeah. I introduced her to Wordle yesterday. So.
Oh, that's dangerous. She's gonna be obsessed.
Because she plays like, like Angry Birds and stuff. She's always into the Facebook games. So I'm like, you got it. And she loves like word scramble and stuff. But I mean, it's been months and months that Wordle has been trending, and she's just now like, so they're not the most tech savvy, but it's cool to see whenever I see people who have their parents in chat and stuff. I'm like, whoa, kind of jealous, but also not, because I'd be so like, I am myself on stream and stuff, but the stage fright would hit me really bad with mommy watching in the audience. Like,
it can be a different experience.
Yeah.
So we went over so much on this episode. I want to thank you so much, Deere, for being here and just sharing your story and your experience as a boss and just your entire journey. So on our way out, we wanted to know, is there any like last minute advice or some type of advice you want to give to our listeners out there who are looking to potentially go into content creation as a career?
I think be yourself. The most important thing is to be yourself. If you are going into live content creation, you can't edit it. So just be authentic, be the version of you that stands for things, and say it proudly, I would say.
So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Mwah. Love y'all.
Yes. So where can we find you, Deere?
You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Deere. And that's Deere. On other social platforms, mostly everything is Deere, like you're writing a letter. DEAR. My name is Deere. Let's play with you, Fury. I like to play scary games and serve you to some drags. If you like how I look, if you like how I sound, there's even going to be a little documentary on me coming out soon called Game Breakers. It's a little episode of a It's a show about trailblazers in the gaming industry, and so they're going to focus on me as well as some stream queens, and it's going to be gorge. It should be late spring.
That's awesome.
Congratulations. That sounds very exciting.
It's on TV in Canada, and it should be on other platforms globally. We'll figure it out. I'll find it. You'll find it. We'll find it.
We'll find it. And I am one of your hosts, MiLadyConfetti. You can find me at MiLadyConfetti literally everywhere. We love consistent branding. So that is that is me. I'm very easy to find. Please follow me everywhere.
And I'm another one of your hosts, HeyShadyLady, and I'm HeyShadyLady across the board everywhere as well. That's on consistent branding. Let's go.
Yes. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah, thanks for the chat, Deere.
Thank you.
Bye everybody.